fully embodied the One China principle. In April this year, President William Ruto paid a successful state visit to China. The two heads of state agreed to elevate our bilateral ties to China-Kenya community with a shared future for the new era, witnessed the signing of 20 cooperation documents and issued a joint statement. They agreed to build the China-Kenya relationship into an inspiring example in developing the all-weather China-Africa community with shared future for the new era, to lead the development of China-Africa relations and the forging of solidarity and cooperation among Global South countries. This year also marks the 25th anniversary of the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation, the FOCAC. Over a quarter century, FOCAC has brought China-Africa relations to the best in the history. In June, President Xi Jinping announced to expand zero tariff treatment for 100% of tariff lines for 53 African countries with which China maintains diplomatic ties, including Kenya. We jointly issued the Changsha Declaration to demonstrate our firm resolve to promote mutual development and joint prosperity. China will work with Kenya to ensure the zero tariff measures take effect at an early date so that our peoples can benefit sooner from our cooperation. This year also marks my first year serving as Chinese ambassador to Kenya. I have been deeply honored and fully aware of my great responsibilities. Upon my arrival, I expressed my readiness to work with Kenyan friends to start a new chapter in our friendship. This year, we have witnessed frequent high-level exchanges. The bilateral culture and tourism season is in full swing. The number of Chinese tourists coming to Kenya is increasing. All-round cooperation is in steady progress. None of this could be possible without the support of you, my friends, from all sectors in both countries, for which I would like to say thank you. Thank you. You are not only witness to this bilateral friendship, but rather participants and contributors. As Kenyan proverb says, if you want to work fast, you walk along. If you want to work far, work together. No matter how the international landscape changes, China's principle of sincerity, real results, amity, and good faith toward Africa will never change. The original aspiration of China and Africa working hand in hand will never change. Thank you very much. Asante ni sana. I conclude my remarks here. And now it's my great honor to invite PCS, Dr. Mudavadi, to deliver his speech. Please, Excellency.
Your Excellency Guyo Haiyan, Ambassador of the People's Republic of China to Kenya, Cabinet Secretaries and other senior officials present, His Excellency Bayene Rasom, Ambassador of the State of Eritrea and Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, Excellencies Ambassadors and High Commissioners, Madam Zainab Bangura, the Director General of the United Nations Office in Nairobi, members of the Diplomatic Corps, private sector representation, friends of Kenya and China, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we have come here to mark the 76th anniversary of the National Foundation Day of the People's Republic of China. So, my first comment is to fully associate the government of Kenya with the remarks that have been made by the ambassador. Thank you for the very elaborate comments, and we stand with you on those very important statements. Madam, I will just touch on a few issues, having just come back from the 80th anniversary of the United Nations celebrations, 80 years, a difference of 4 years with the 76 here. And perhaps I'll just pick one or two things. First, Your Excellency, let me say that we value, as Kenya and as Africa, the strong partnership that China has built with the African continent and African nations. Through the FOCAC arrangement, great strides have been made, spanning aspects of infrastructure and broad governance issues and technological transfer between the two, that is China and the African continent, and we think that this relationship has definitely yielded positive results for our two countries. I was one of the people at the Changsha session, and indeed the conversations there reflected a lot on the strong partnership between Africa and China. The second point I want to highlight, something important is going on. We have a delegation today in China which is in deep negotiation so that within the framework arrangement of FOCAC and the pronouncement about China offering Africa the free or the preferential trade agreements for products in Africa, Kenya has a delegation negotiating its portion of arrangement with the Chinese government, and we hope that in a few weeks' time we shall be able to report progress indicating that we have struck a deal within the free preferential trade arrangements. This is critical for us, critical for Africa, bearing in mind that we are seeing a lot of volatility in the trading arena. So if African countries, and I think one has already concluded, Kenya may be perhaps the next one, we believe that Africa requires predictable, reliable, consistent trade arrangements with its partners. The message is that we need to stop dependency on aid as a continent and start getting more into trade, building the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, working together. And therefore, it is upon us, both individually and collectively, to take more seriously any opportunities of consolidating trade arrangements with our developing partners. So the offer that has been presented by China to the African continent is extremely timely, and I encourage other African countries to take advantage of it within the FOCAC framework so that we can create a predictable, reliable, and consistent trade arrangement with all our partners. As far as Kenya is concerned, the President indeed made a state visit earlier this year, and as has been rightly pointed out, over 21, actually I think there were 21, documents or agreements were signed, bilateral agreements were signed at that occasion. And we wish to pursue some critical aspects where we want to extend the SGR from Naivasha all the way to Kisumu and then Malaba border so that we can enhance the efficiency of trade between us, our neighbor Uganda, and indeed the Great Lakes region. So that is one of the key programs we are looking at, to have the line 2B and 2C concluded. We are also in consultation so that we can have the dual carriaging of the road Rironi-Mau Summit, and then Mau Summit to Malaba, so that all these, again, can enhance our trade arrangements with our partners and in the region. These are some of the critical areas. Finally, I just want to acknowledge and thank the people of China through the ambassador, that with the kind of geopolitics we are seeing, the geoeconomics we are seeing, the geotechnologies we are seeing, the place for multilateralism is becoming even more important. And a strong message that will continue to send the signal that the absence of multilateralism is dangerous for humanity is extremely essential at this point in time. We will not be able to deal with the conflicts that we see if we disrespect or weaken or undermine multilateralism. Therefore, the position taken of consolidating and strengthening multilateralism, Your Excellency, is a shared position with the People's Republic of China, and we thank you for it. Ladies and gentlemen, politicians can talk for too long. I will end there, but reaffirming that our partnership and our friendship is important, is solid, is growing, and we value it. On that note, Your Excellency, I think we should propose a toast so that we can celebrate these great 76 years together with you and with our friends here to mark a very great day. Thank you.
Please join us in the toast to the prosperity and the well-being of our great nations of China and Kenya, to our friendship which endures as Mount Kenya, and to the good health of my all distinguished guests and your families. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.